everybody, welcome to today's music history moment. We're going to talk to you about and read about Josquin today, an early composer after the chant era like we learned last week. I know that can be a little confusing, that's why there's not much written about it, because it's just confusing. But Josquin came along and someone decided to write about what he did because he did some pretty interesting stuff. So this is the next chapter for you today on Josquin. Josquin de Pré, one historian tells us, emerges from the mists in the 1460s or 70s in Milan. He had to come out of the fog to see what he was writing, apparently. Josquin was born about 1440 in Picardy and probably studied music under the composer Ogekim. Ogekim was a big noise in his own time, but today we pay more attention to Josquin. That's the way it goes. Other than that, we don't know a whole lot about Josquin's life. He traveled a lot, working as a singer and composer for popes, kings, and other big shots in Milan and Rome, and also at the court of the French king, Louis VIII. Louis XI, not 8th. Josquin had a reputation for being a bit headstrong, one of those brilliant but moody types. When the Duke of Ferrara was considering hiring Josquin as court composer, the Duke's secretary recommended that he hire Isaac instead. Isaac, the secretary said, got along better with people and composed music more quickly. Not better, but faster. Besides, Josquin wanted 200 ducats and Isaac would do the job for only 120. Josquin got the job anyway. That's the great thing about being a duke. You can ask for advice and then ignore it. Josquin also had a wicked sense of humor. After he grew tired of waiting for a raise the French king had promised him, Josquin composed a motet on the text, "Remember thy word unto thy servant." King Louis got the message, and Josquin got his money, whereupon he composed another motet called, "Lord, thou hast dealt graciously with thy servant." Subtle, wasn't he? I'm not making this up, this is true stuff. For Josquin, composing motets was the Renaissance equivalent of writing inter-office memos. Josquin seemed to have an obsession with money. It comes with the job. The obsession, not the money. One of his best chansons, which is French for songs, is, oh my gosh, some French word, Faute d'argent. And if you're taking French, you could say that better. I don't know how to say it in French. Which is all about what a bore it is to have no money. If I say so, Josquin text says, "It is because I know." A popular composing technique in those days was to build a mass or motet around the melody of a cantus firmus, or fixed song. The cantus firmus, CF to its friends, was taken from Gregorian chant or from some other well-known song of the day. Try to imagine an entire mass based on the tune of Home on the Range, and you get the idea. Among the best-known CF, or cantus firmus melodies, is one called Le Homme Arme, all about a man with a sword in his hand. If you listen closely, you'll hear that it sounds a lot like the Beatles song Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. That's true, it really does. In Josquin's day, you were nobody unless you had composed at least one Le Homme Arme mass. Josquin composed 2 just to be on the safe side. Josquin eventually grew tired of life on the road and returned to his Picardy home in his final years. He died in 1521, leaving the way clear for those composers known as the post-Josquin generation. These included Nicholas Gombert, Adrian Williart, and Clemens von Papa. The reason for this last man's unusual nickname is not fully understood, but it probably had nothing to do with the paternity suit. I hope you enjoyed your little information session on Josquin. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time.